Hi everybody, Miss Joanna here with Made by Our Hands. I would like to thank all of my new subscribers and I would like to thank all of you who jump in on board. Okay, so today we're going to talk about a pattern that I made for my granddaughter, Simplicity 8272, and I made view A. Okay, so let's get into what the notion says that I will need. Okay, so let's talk about what these notions are saying. Okay, so the notion says right here, I'm going to need thread. I'm going to need 1.5 length of cord for a button loop. I'm going to need 1/2 inch button and one package of single wide bias tape. And that's at a 1/2 inch. Okay, so but most of you who know me know I like to put my own spin on my bias tape. Okay, so I buy my own I don't buy bias tape all the time. I actually make my bias tape. Okay, so now looking at my pattern here, it tells me what pieces of the pattern I am going to need. Okay, so it says right here on piece 1, it says piece 1 right here, it says for me to cut 1 and to cut it on the fold, and that's exactly what I did. I cut 1 and I cut it on the fold. On piece 2 here, it is the bodice back, and it says for me to cut 2. I cut 2. It says on piece 3 here, it says to cut 2, and that's exactly what I did. I cut 2. Now piece 4 here is our elastic sleeve guide. Okay, so this is how much I need. I looked on here, and since I made size 5, I cut out my elastic the length of size 5. Okay, and then I needed pattern piece number 5. Pattern piece number 5 is both for the back, the front and the back. Okay, and I had to cut it on the fold. Okay, I had to cut it on the fold. And then we had pattern piece here number 6, and it says cut 2 on the fold. Okay, so I had to cut 2 pieces of it on the fold. Okay, so let's go to our finishing product. So now here is our finishing product right here, our finished garment, I should say. Okay, so here I did exactly what he told me to cut out right here. Hope you can see this. This is her neckline. I follow the pattern's directions when it says to sew stay stitch, so I did stay stitch. Then I did her little sleeve. This is the bodice part, piece 1 of the pattern, where it said for me to cut on the fold. I cut it right on the fold, and as you see, when you cut it on the fold, you'll get one continuous piece instead of getting 2 pieces. Okay, the pattern sleeves calls for me to cut 2, and I cut 2. Okay, now the actual skirt of our gown said for me to cut it on the fold and to cut 2 on the fold. Okay, so I would have a front and a back, and as you can see, I did that. Okay, then we did our gatherings on the sleeves. The sleeves was a little challenging for me. Now the sleeves was a little challenging because when you with a child, it's kind of hard, okay, to get that gathering, get that on with your sewing machine. All right, and then here we have the sleeves right here on for the little sleeves, where it says to follow the sleeves for the guide, and I did exactly that. I hope you could see that. I did exactly that, and there is where I made for her little casing for her elastic. Okay, and then right down here, it asked me to gather piece 6, and piece piece 6 again was cut on the fold and cut 2. Okay, so as you can see, we have our nice little nightgown for my grandbaby that I know she's going to love, and I can't wait for her to see it. I added a little extra touch. Well, it has a bow on it, but it's optional. Okay, so I did her little bow, and I coordinated with the little flannel kitty material here. I used flannel for her upper torso and the sleeves. I use broadcloth for her body, for the body of the gown. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, thumbs up, and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video, Miss Rowena Made by Our Hands.